Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And oh my gosh, I I think I know sometimes I might seem all over the place, but if you're just patient with me, then the pieces will come together. Yay. But just remember my YouTube channel is as messy as my life. Okay. Something that I was thinking about right after recording the last Catfish video, because I kept giving examples of why these men have such an easy time getting women's hearts or people's hearts, but really women's hearts especially. But actually, looking at some of the documentaries, the catfish, they learn both sides. And I really want to study that too. But something that just kept making me think was the fact that both Mr. Nohart and Mr. Lakaki, they really hated whenever I accomplished something or whenever I was working or striving for something. Usually they wanted to block it. They wanted to keep telling me that it was dumb or stupid or I better not, or it's like they could do better. But then they never did anything other than, well, steal or drop out or give up or play video games or just things that never got them anywhere, or like they smoked puff puff pass or whatever, or they took other things and like special candy. And it's just rough. Like, I see how a catfish could have gotten me, especially when I first broke up with Mr. No Heart. I remember a catfish came right on in, and they picked they picked a hottie too. It's like in real life he is a doctor, and it's like I've had medical nightmares, but I like this is the time when I started kind of finding health professionals that actually would listen, and I started seeing a better side or image of the field. And I've always respected the field, but at the same time, I literally had hate for the field. And yes, as a Christian woman, I'm not supposed to, but when I am literally being spanked, yelled at, and verbally traumatized because doctors keep saying the pain is in my head. And so while breaking up with a guy I was dating for 7 years, a guy who he begged me to start a business, and then 6 months later, he quit and gave up, even though I created the website. I was like writing and emailing, and I had created a customer database. And even a little after a year after we closed down, I'm still getting messages and phone calls for our products and stuff. And I wanting to scream really loudly because he didn't have a dime to his name. I spent over $2,500 and I had to use my credit. Majority was on my credit card, but either credit card or cash. Actually, no, it was around $3,000 because for the materials to build the shed was $2,500, but then I still had to spend at least another $500 to $1,000 for the seeds, the soil, and like the fertilizer and everything. And then even online, some of the items, because I wanted everything to look and be professional. And then the licenses. Oh my gosh, more than 3,000. Because now, yeah, it's like, did I create a database of that? No, because I just thought down the line, once we started making money, then and I was working 2 or 3 jobs, that I would be able to put that stuff together. Like once we had everything together, and since it's a partnership and stuff, it was just like We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. But I still will never forget when I was preparing and fixing items. He came into the kitchen and just told me it was over. And I remember looking at him like, are you kidding me? I spent all this money, he didn't put a dime, and he never paid me back for any of it. And during the business, he was asking me for money. And then with my children's books, I told him my ideas and he kept dismissing me. When I wrote my novel, he didn't think I was going to finish it. He didn't think I was going to write it. I still remember the night I finished it. It was right around this time of year. It was October or November when I finished my first very extremely rough draft of the novel that will be out next year. And yes, it's taking forever to write it, but if you saw the before and now you see the the after, my rough draft was the version of me that had to be a good Christian girl, a conservative, oh, I'm a liberal, but I had to wear the mask of a conservative. Oh, no, never, ever again. But now, with the novel that will be published, it will be me, my authentic, liberal, democratic me. And no man has control over it. And I am not going to ever date a man again who tells me they will not read my book unless I publish it. I will not date a man again who, when I share one of my poems that I wrote in college for one of my college classes, and then later, like the next week, I'm preparing lunch or dinner for us, and I go into the kitchen or the there's a in the laundry room literally right next to the kitchen. There's a garbage can, and I found the paper that the poem was on in the garbage. That's how little he saw me. That's what he thought of me. And when I was a teacher, like whenever his daughters had projects and or band concerts, I would drop everything to make sure that I went and supported the oldest daughter. I did what I could because I wanted to cheer her on. When I asked him for the same, yeah, I don't have any kids, and oh, he threatened to break up with me if I adopted or fostered. And at first, I was going to just go on and let him break up with me. But then I was scared because my walking was getting worse. I could see how a catfish would have gotten me back then. Because I was literally being told that I was too old to be a mother. I should be thankful I'm not a mother. I will break up with you if you try to be a mother. But at the beginning of the relationship, he said, oh, yeah, that's fine. Are you want to adopt? Oh, that means you have a big heart. I understand. He did that until I think he knew that I would be too scared to be single. I think because especially with his actions around year 3 and 4, that's when he did minor things or minor red flags before, but I think he wanted to see how far he could go before I had enough. And he didn't realize once I'd had enough, I had enough. I think he thought he would be able to come back and have a second chance. And I think that's one reason why I'm thankful for my stubbornness and bullheadedness, because a lot of men are shocked or they yell at me or try to traumatize me more and more, and they don't realize you're just making it worse. You're just making it worse. I am not going to stick around with somebody who first treated me like garbage and now you're blaming me for you treating me like garbage by treating me even worse. And but then when you look at the catfish though, they are just like, oh, I want a serious relationship. I hope you want a serious relationship. Oh, did you eat today? Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, let me send you this song that I thought of you this morning. I just want to play this song for you. It sounds like how beautiful you are. It reminds me of your beauty. And oh, what else? It's just like, what are your hobbies? I want to know everything about you. Mostly they want to know everything about me so then they can take advantage, because if I played golf or something, like even hockey or something that sounds expensive, then they're going to know to take more money out of me, but they do it in a romantic way. And oh, what's your career? What do you do for work? What is your passion? I want to know what your work passion is, because they want to take more money out of me and they want to know how far they can go. But they make it sound so compassionate, so sympathetic, something that most American men do not know how to do. And I mean, the catfish, like they catfish women and men and everything like that. But for a lot of the men who, yeah, mostly if they just know how to talk provocatively and compassionately, yeah, that's how most of the men. So I'm not going to say it's easier, but especially since they are men, I feel like it's probably easier. It's just crazy because just thinking about all of the things that, especially Mr. No Heart, because okay, even with my college degrees, he hated it. And part of me just wonders, if he dates another black woman, he shouldn't date another black woman, because he he doesn't respect black women, and he allows his family members to traumatize black women. But with Catfish, it's like, I mean, well, a lot of them come from Nigeria anyway, so, but I've even kind of noticed how it's like, if I have my afro out or whatever, or like a sew-in or whatever, some of them even ask like, oh, that hair is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful on your head. It's like you're a goddess. And it's like, oh, I would make sure to like that you had your hair styled and done every single. And it's like, I, and then even culturally, it's like in food, I don't know, it's just, there were certain conversations that I've had with some of the catfish, to the point where they were asking in inquisitive ways. They weren't asking me questions to, I mean, it was to take advantage money wise, but they knew how to ask it to sound sympathetic, empathetic. And it's kind of hard. Like, I will have examples soon. Oh, I just have to tell my brain, okay, I'm going to have to act really dumb. I'm going to have to act really dumb when I start talking to the catfish that, and actually, yeah, I'll read off the names of the catfish that they're waiting for me to respond. But I don't feel like being dumb yet. It's like I don't feel like like, oh my gosh, yeah, now you want to go to WhatsApp? Why do you want to go to WhatsApp? Okay, let's go to WhatsApp. Oh, and this dot 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 the same evening. You love me? Oh my gosh. Oh my, I love you too. Like, no, no, no. But let's see. There's Alex and there's Michael, but spelled Mikael. And then there's David. And yeah, okay. I think that is majority of the catfish that I have on one of the apps. I have two or three on a couple other apps. But let me even look at like how did each one open up? Oh, here's one that I've heard like 5 or 6 times. Are you Wi-Fi? Because I feel a connection. So it's like literally when I hear that joke, like from the beginning, I already know you're a catfish. That one, I'm just like, yep, catfish. I'm okay. That was like his first statement. And then let me look at another one. Hello, I couldn't help but swipe right when I saw your captivating smile. How's your day going? And it's just like, okay, yeah, whatever. So, but yeah, I'm gonna play dumb soon, but I don't want to. But I, it's like just after like looking at the screenshots of the other guy and like all of the versions of him that there are, and then I was giving examples. I know how these guys are so successful. Looking back at my dating life, I know how one could have tricked me. I know myself now, and I know that I don't need a man to be happy. Would I like a relationship? I would like one, but at the same time, I'm not going to be dependent on one. And another reason why I'm talking about the Hallmark shows as well, because a lot of those movies tell us to be dependent, tell us that we won't be happy until we're with a man, tell us that a man is able to go after his goals and dreams at like career and hobbies, but a woman's career and hobby is to make him some kids and to take care of him and to provide food and to do laundry and to clean up after him. Basically, be a mother that he can sleep with. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of men want that. But then when you look at the catfish, they don't. It's like a lot of them say, like, oh, well, I need to borrow this money, but I'll pay it back and I'll pay it back with interest. And don't worry, this is going to take care of us. And they always abbreviate or they always like put emphasis on the us. When most American men, they're trying to take advantage of the girl, the woman, the female. The men is like, I mean, okay. Actually, it's like it goes both ways because I feel some women also take advantage when it comes to getting the meals, getting the hair, getting the nails. I've never had this, so maybe that's one reason why when men say that the woman treats them like badly, I don't get it because I've never been in that situation. And like some men, when I record these videos, they have no idea what I am talking about because they never treated a woman like the men have treated me all of my life. And so sometimes there's going to be friction or misunderstandings. But at the same time, I understand that yes, there are some women. I was a promotional model. I've watched some of these models have sugar daddies. I've watched some of these models brag about, oh yeah, I found this really rich guy. He's like he has a rich family. I'm gonna marry him. And it's like I already have a boyfriend, but it's like I'm gonna first make sure I have it good with him before I break up with my boyfriend, but make sure you don't tell my boyfriend. And it's like, I don't know why in the world you told me this in the first place, but now you expect me to not tell your boyfriend that you're cheating on him, and basically you found like. So I do know some women, but part of me is just like, not all of these women can be like this, right? Not all of them. But then when men meet me, I think sometimes they're surprised. And for some reason, some men think I'm a catfish because with my profile with my degrees, or and that's one reason why I only have one picture. It's like no one's ever gonna really catfish with me, but with the torments and the awful things American men say and do, it's just to the point where why would I provide him more to traumatize me with? When the catfish, it's like they have learned, oh, her best feature are her eyes. And then they literally have a database of comments of what they can say about your eyes. Or, oh, her skin is flawless. Let me talk about her skin. Or it's the hair. Or if she has a full figure and she's in really good shape. Or even if she's a thick girl, it's like, oh, they have a line for you. One that is just going to make you feel like, oh my gosh, he's so sweet. Oh my gosh, he's Prince Charming. And that's how a lot of, like, back to the Hallmark movies, a lot of these catfish have learned to kind of play that Hallmark movie role. They've played the role where a woman's gonna drop everything, or basically pull out all of her money out of her wallet for the man. She's gonna make sure that man has everything, that he's happy, because she has never felt this way about a guy, because she finally found a guy that respects her, that treats her like she's a human being, that won't antagonize her or make her feel like she's inept. And I think that's what's missing within society, within, and especially within dating. A lot of it's with men, because with red pill and passport bros, there are a lot of men that don't think much of women at all. They just think of us as birthing vessels, and vessels where they can pump whatever into us. And we're just supposed to stay submissive and say, okay, since you're a guy. And it's just like, what? One chromosome makes you dominant over the other like, no. That's one reason why I'm okay being single. If I don't get to live my goals and dreams just because of a chromosome, if my future is destined to just take care of kids just because I was born a woman, or it's like just because a man is a man, so when he takes care of his kids, it's babysitting. But when a woman does it, that's your responsibility. You're the mother. Oh, I can see why catfishing is succeeding. When I look at these movies and films, and when I listen to some of my family members and watch their relationships, when I look at my past and what I dealt with, I see why these catfish are succeeding so well. I see why they're taking millions of dollars every year from people. It's because the how we see each other, how we value each other, how, and really how we don't value each other, but the expectations upon one another is just depleting. Some guys hope to find the woman that would just be quiet and do as they say, and some women were fed up. And literally, especially us Democrat women and Democrat black women, we are fed up. It's like whenever we're hired, it's only like they want to say it's only because DEI. And a lot of the times we have more education, more credentials than like any of the other people on the staff, which I'm going through that right now as we speak. But that's life, isn't it, for a black woman? We are always overlooked. So that will be a future episode coming up soon, but It's really sad. I see why we I see why and how catfish are able to take advantage of us. And they're doing it with either the love or Bitcoin or business or just there's so many different ways where they have learned and practiced on how to take advantage. And I just wonder, when is this going to stop? How is it going to stop? Anyways, on to another episode. This is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too. It's like, I know it's an interesting episode, but it just really, yeah, I think you can tell that I'm a writer. And with writers, sometimes we start with one subject and then it makes us think of another subject. And then it's like it's on and on until we circle back and then we start connecting like a spider web. That I think that's how some of my episodes are right now. And one reason is I, I see the connections, as odd as it is. It's like with media, with dating apps, with Catfish, and then real life, it's all connecting with how genders are with expectations. And don't even get me started with the Bible, because some people are like, that's in the Bible. It's like how a woman's supposed to act is in the Bible. A woman's not supposed to be a leader. It says so in the Bible. Well, well, let's just say I'll get to some of this other information another time. But continue working on your goals, your dreams. Don't let these people stop you. And if someone's trying to block you from a goal, make sure petty tastes delicious.